Welcome along, everyone, to Returning in Home with me. Uh, I hope you're all well. Uh, it's a nice day outside. That's all I can say about it. It's dry at the minute, but it's a bit cooler today. I've had to put my wee heater on and to warm the shed up. So, who have I in the background to help us today? Let us see who's behind the round window.
I'm not so sure about the helping thing, but never mind. We're here.
We have Doug and Brian. Uh, Welcome along, guys. And
Welcome.
well, I'll put the Emmons in the background and we'll get
Good,
on to the
good
hunting
idea.
bit.
Nobody wants
Good
Okay.
to look
place
at
to
us.
put us.
Yep.
And
Good place to put us.
we'll
Yeah,
explain what I'm
I
going to
can
do.
I can drink my tea now. It's fine.
Yeah, we can't see you. You can dribble all you want, Brian.
Ah, thanks, Paul.
Right, let's see. Right, I have a piece of. Come to me in a wee minute. The name is uh, cypress. Piece of cypress. It's 6 inches square by 2.5 inches thick, and you can see it's not fairly squarish. I was messing about with it there, so I'll give you a clue what we're going to sort of do to it. We're going to do a wee bit of texture and a wee bit of colouring with the airbrush, and it's something I haven't done much of. Airbrushing, so it could be a disaster, and it could be all right. So
It'll be wonderful.
we'll just get on with it. From what I've seen on YouTube, I can't get any worse than anybody else.
Some days it goes well, some days it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's for
So
sure.
we'll start off with the bowl gauge, and I'm just going to bring the two cameras in so we can see head over head. So we need to bring this around to get the bowl shape and bring it to the round. So as always, check your everything's locked, and I like to bring the tailstock up when I can, just to get this to around so there's no chance of it coming out of the chuck. It's just a wee safety thing, and
Hmm. It's always a good plan. Use your tailstock support
yeah,
as often as you can.
yeah. There's a couple of
Uh,
wee radial cracks going across here in the end grain. They might turn away. A couple on that side too. So hopefully they'll turn away. This is the last piece of this cypress I had. Uh,
hmm.
it was given to me quite a while ago, and it smells lovely. And when you start cutting it, but unfortunately, there's a few cracks in this bit, so I thought I would experiment with this bit today and see how we can do a wee bit of texture to it and a wee bit of colouring. So I'm using the bowl gouge here, and we'll use the pull cut just to start to bring that round.
While you're doing that, how about I shout out everybody that's come in so far?
Ah, you can do that, Doug.
All right. Starting off, we had Door 60 come in first off. Shane Hurst is in. Clint at Wood Dancers. Gary Glass is in. Hey, Gary.
Gary.
Who else? Alex, the Wood Butcher, is in. Hello, Alex. Made it in for the start. Yeah, you're in. You're good. Roger Kent's here. Chris Dodds. Uh, Twisted Pete of the Trees. Good morning, Pete.
Just stop that
Um,
and bring it to the restaurant.
Malcolm Douglas is in. And of course, it jumped right as I start scrolling down. And I think I'm at the end of the list.
Yep. There's only 19 people on watching, and I think you read out about 19 names there, so not too
All
bad.
right.
And
Marcel.
Marcel
Hello,
Beer has just
Marcel.
joined us.
Andy. Andy the
He's just
Valley Wood Turner.
Marcel's cooking breakfast. I wonder what you're cooking, Marcel. What are you having for breakfast?
There's a big bit shit off there. See that?
King.
Let it her out there.
Oh,
I'll
mercy.
turn this.
Yesterday I was not feeling well. My wife actually cooked breakfast. I told her I didn't want a whole lot. So what does she do? She brings me fried apples,
Oh,
fried eggs, and get a which is sausage with steel cut oats in it.
Mm.
It's fried up. It's awfully good stuff.
Mm.
Matt, I'm going to try that last name.
Go on then.
Abatson,
Ibbotson.
Ibbotson. Okay,
Ibbotson.
that'll work.
I would think
Matt,
it's pronounced that, I think.
we're glad to have you, Matt.
He's here, but he can't chat.
Oh, Paul
all
is in. Yes.
That's okay. Paul Hewton's in, the Gravesbury Turner.
Welcome along, everyone.
He's Paul's busy today. He's painting his summer house.
That's
bit
a
late.
job. That's a job. I'm not sure too many people enjoy painting, but it's a job that has to get done.
Mm-hmm. I don't paint anymore. I just pay somebody to come and do it. I can't be doing that.
I'm just going to go from the other direction here because I'm a lot of clear out here.
Or Michelle does it, one of the two.
There you go.
She likes painting.
Yeah.
I have the patience for it. It takes too long.
It does.
I don't mean the main paint on the walls. It's the gloss, and I don't like.
Yeah, there you go. That's the trouble right there. And I have about 16 doors in my house.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, I do have 16 doors in my house.
Goodness. Trying to think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. 7 that I'd have to cut in.
Mm.
And there's at least that many windows. But yeah, I don't know. That's one of those things I hate to do it. I do a good job with it, but I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
I'm just trying to get this laid around, get all the flat spots away. So I'm not too bothered about the cuts. Just removing timber. I just stop shy of the end so I don't tear that out again. Let's see what we're like now. Around there, around there. We're in the round. Good. Just that wee bit to take off. So.
Got some nice subtle grain in that wood. Gary Glass says, take the doors off and go open plan, Brian.
Yeah, I know.
But you still have the casings.
Yeah, you do. No, I'm not having an open plan. I wanted to make the kitchen and sitting room open plan, but Michelle said no. So that was the end of that. Question for Brian. Did you have to look about removing the heart?
I do what I done one Christmas.
No,
Brian. My wife went out to see my mother, and she just lived not far away from us. Took the kids with her, and between my kitchen and is a back hall. When I was living in this house, so I decided to knock it down while she was out. She came home with a big pile of bricks and a mess laying on the middle of the floor.
I guess you heard about that, didn't you?
Yeah. So I turned it into an archway, a big archway.
Mm.
It looked well when it was finished. You should happy enough with it.
Well, Alex, you're going to have to write that up, how to do that, and the code that needs deleting.
Yep.
So that more of us can do that. It's not so bad, except it's for me, it's right over the last thing, last message in the chat.
So the only thing to do there is pop out the chat.
Well, I've popped out my chat.
If you pop out the chat and then expand the chat a little bit to the right, the little heart will go to the right hand side of your screen.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, you get it large enough that it's.
Yeah, it doesn't obscure the last entry in
But
the chat.
then I can't see the turning that's going on.
Well, that is an issue. But
It is an issue.
Okay.
well, I don't watch on the same screen. You see, I watch StreamYard on one screen and YouTube on the other screen. So
I'm just
Yeah,
going to bring
yeah.
the skew chisel in
Yeah,
here
I've
to
only
square
got-
that
that
up.
makes a difference for me. So
I've only got one screen on, so.
that,
But I've
that
got the
limits
popped
somewhat.
out chat right on top of, on the StreamYard.
All right,
I guess I could bring the StreamYard down and to the left a little bit. And
split your screen a bit. Can you split screen? Will it work? Give
I
you
don't
enough room?
know. I don't know how to do that. Oh, well, yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
I can't make the StreamYard screen
do
small
that.
enough to do that.
so it's nice and straight along here. So
Mhm.
I'm not going to do any sand into this because
Nice
we want to
profile.
texture this.
It's a nice profile. Like the
It
shape
is.
of that.
It is.
And we're
It's
going
a
to
little,
use
little overcut at the top.
Nice grain in the wood.
a nice wee tool here.
Oh,
this wee
props on
blade
long
in.
neck grinder.
Yeah, with this wee blade in.
You can't get that little blade anymore. They don't sell that anymore. Apparently.
I can see why. It's a vicious wee thing. If
It
you're
can
not,
be, yeah.
if you're not prepared for it. So we'll just move all the metal things out of the way and give me a bit of room to operate. So I don't initially know what way I'm going to do this, so we're just going to go for it and no plans.
Whack it.
Okay.
Whack it. Just whack into it there.
Greg Alexander has come in. Hello, Greg.
Oh.
All right, Alex has put the start of
See
the
that?
code in, and it that looks scary to me.
Again, it does a lot.
Is the overhead better or the tailstock?
Tailstock probably.
Yeah.
I think. Well, so we can see the action of the cutter.
So I'm just doing a random, just wee bursts of cut. We had a great demonstrator on Saturday at our club. Brian, I'm sorry you missed it.
Kirsty, yeah, I know, mate.
Thursday was very good. Thursday, if you're watching, thanks very much for the great day, and we'll hope to see you in the near future again.
She is good, yeah. She does some amazing stuff with colour.
Yeah.
I have got some nice colours and things that I'm playing with this week to demonstrate on Tuesday. Next Tuesday.
And she's done a lot of turning with a lot of colouring with the rainbow waxes. Which was very good because I've never seen them used before.
Yeah,
apart from when you tried to use them.
Yep, I have a selection of other waxes that are and mousses that I'm going to try and perfect this week. To let guys see you next Tuesday.
The rainbow waxes gave you a little bit of a hard time, didn't they?
The rainbow waxes they dried out far too quick.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get the hang of them, so I sent them to Steve.
Yeah. I've got one here. Trying to see who makes it. Deco Art Metallic Luster. It's a turquoise. It's a good color, but it's very similar to what you're saying. You put it on and it's almost as dry as.
Yep.
As soon as you touch it to the wood, it's dry. But it is a water base.
Oh well,
so,
if it's water based, you can reactivate it a little bit with the water.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I did. I put it on that first time I used it. I put it on and then was thinking, oh, I got to turn all this off and start over. And I saw it was water based, so I got a paper towel and I wet it, and I'll turn the lathe on and just put that wet paper towel to it, It was like sandpaper. Took the top of it off exactly perfect.
There you go.
So I was kind of excited about it.
Good.
It worked out. It worked out. But I've got
Great.
the Hampshire Sheen color since, and really like those. Really like them.
Yep. The
An
intrinsics.
actual. Well, I'm talking about the
Oh,
embellishing
no, you
wax.
got the embellishing waxes, yeah.
Yeah, they
Did you
work
buy
very
them
nice.
all, Doug?
I've got 6.
Yeah.
I think white's the only one I don't have.
They are good, like.
Yeah, I like them.
The white is good if you have if you color, like if you're texturing the inside of a lid or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you texture the inside and do the background the same color as the inside, and then put white over the texture. Really
Right.
makes it stand out.
Absolutely. I bought at the AAW. Talked to Jeff Hornig, who is the Hampshire Sheen, one of the Hampshire Sheen reps here in the U.S. And he was saying, you can get the white. I've got it over there. But he also had the Mylands white wax, and it's a good bit more expensive than buying the Hampshire Sheen, but you get what size can is this? 400 grams.
Right.
So I'm just
It's
going
a
to give it a
big
quick sand to take all the furry bits off.
Take the fuzzies off.
Yeah. Yeah, just for a good comparison, the Hampshire Sheen embellishing waxes are 60 grams.
That's right, yeah.
Where the Mylands is 400.
Yeah, well, that's going to last you a long time.
Yes, it will. Well, and if you are only using it occasionally, I could see going ahead and buying the Hampshire Sheen white. What I want the white for is Jeff does that. What's Moroccan Blue series?
Yeah.
I've done one, and I used my silver wax, and I used almost half the tin on that one bowl. So I've got the white now, and I want to do all kinds of colors, not only blue, but red, purple, green, whatever color comes to mind.
Right, we're just going to go for a bit of color all over and spread it about a bit. Just randomly. Okay.
Yep.
I've got my wee
airbrush
ready set up.
With a suction bottle. Guys are talking about being able to get rid of the heart, and Alex has said you can in YouTube Studio, but it's down to the person doing the live. So in YouTube Studio, Alex, I can turn that off. Is that what you're telling me?
What's that?
The little heart thing that comes up in the chat that covers the.
Mine's disappeared again.
Was it?
I did have it on Friday night or Thursday night, whatever what night it was.
I'll have to look at that after a while.
Me too.
Okay. So I just and you're panicked there. This wee compressor's affecting my screen here. I take it it's not affecting yours.
No, not coming through yet.
Good. It's going on and off. It's just the way it charges up to its full, and then the compressor kicks in. So that was a wee taste of dark red. So I'm going to use a wee bit of what color's scarlet. The next color.
Scarlet.
Scarlet. That's what it's called anyway.
What colors are these?
These are Mylands colors.
Oh, right, okay.
They're water based.
You
probably not see much of that, but I'm just going to give it a quick.
Quite vibrant colors too.
They are.
Is that a water-based stain or is it just an acrylic paint?
It's a water-based stain.
Hmm.
Or hold on,
Okay.
I'll just get it here.
We have the tub. So I'll have a look at it.
How about you look at it here?
Look like I need to more buy colours like.
I haven't got my reading glasses on, so I can't see that
Oh,
fine.
no,
But it's
point at the camera and I'll read it.
it's definitely. Where are
Down a
we?
bit. Yeah, there you go.
It's
Water-based stain.
it's a
Water
water-based
stain.
stain.
Okay. I'll have a look
Does
at
it say
that.
anything on the back? You
Same
probably not
thing.
be able to read that.
Not really, no. I'll look it up
Nope.
now. Mylons.
Mylons.
Water-based stain.
I bought these a number of years ago by accident. Well, I say accident. I had a number of vouchers from winning the competitions, and I spent them on them.
Oh, you're quite right.
So that's how I come by them. And it's only recently I've started using them. And the colours are quite good. I was quite surprised when I started using them. Right, that'll do that. So the next colour, with 5 colours here. So I'm just going to go and use all 5. And we'll just go lightly with this next one, which is purple. No, violet, how do you call it? Violet. I think it needs.
Ah, there we go. Oh, it's not. It's Florka.
Brian, we were talking about the ads the other day, and
Mm-hmm.
I did get my message saying that I was eligible to sign up, and
Good man.
I'm excuse me, I'm under review at the moment. So
Yeah, it'll take. Sometimes can take a couple of days, or sometimes can take up to 3 weeks. So they get round to that, but it's usually within 3 or 4 days. Usually.
yeah,
A wee bit of blue here.
yeah, I've been through the base terms. I've signed up for AdSense, and now I'm under review. It
Yep.
says it could take about a month, but
It does, but it never takes that long. Though.
yeah,
Never takes that long. Well,
kind
in
of
my
like
experience.
your custom URL. They say
Hmm.
it could take 3 weeks or something, and it usually takes 3, 4, 5 days.
That's it. I suppose it just depends how busy they are. They give themselves a good leeway. Yeah, Paul, this is looking rather rich.
Mm-hmm.
I like these water-based stains there. I'm liking that colour.
A wee bit of water or yellow here.
I have found it amazing how layering the colors like that makes such a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
There was one video I watched where the fella he did like most of us do. He put down a good coat of black and then he sanded it pretty well off. Didn't look like there was much on there. Then he started adding layers of another color. I forget what color he used now. But as he did, he would sand that color back. And then he'd lay on another layer of the same color. He put 5 or 6 layers of that primary color on, each one sanded back until he got to the last one.
Right.
Then he lightly sanded just to take any nibs off. Then he put a coat of honey over it. And it was amazing how the richness of that primary color came through.
Mm-hmm. Gives a good depth of colour.
Yes, the depth of color. And then he, of course, showed after he put the finish on, and
light
that
sand
brings it out as well.
on this.
This is looking really nice.
Mm-hmm. Gary comes in and says, "What did I miss? I hate when work interrupts these lives."
I know it's terrible,
Ah,
isn't it?
I understand that too well.
Work just gets in the way.
So we'll just go over that again with a wee bit of red, just to bring that back.
I'm
Try
pretty
turning-
glad I'm retired now, I have to say. I get to do what I want when I want, except for
Gosh.
the chores
Yeah.
that you have
Yep.
to do every day.
Do, 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 do.
That's Paul's thinking noise.
Instead of things rattling around.
We'll just go for the lighter color of red here. See if we can just bring that back up again.
I seem to have mislaid my chat. I know this. It's hidden behind the screen. There we go. It disappears. Overhead camera? Todd is asking, can we have a look at the overhead camera?
Yep.
Alex,
Nope.
I'm afraid you're right. Alex said, "Oh, Doug, soon you'll be making 20p a year." That's about
Yeah, I
right.
know.
That's about right.
I think I made about £5 this month.
Ah, you had a big month, huh?
Huge, yeah. They only pay you out when you get up to $60.
Yes, yes.
Once you, I think, well, it's £60 here, and probably $60 there as well.
If it's
So
60 pounds, it's probably $75.
right, okay. Well, it's £60 we get, and I got paid out there beginning of this month, and I've made another £5 odds. Wow, I'm excited. But the way I look at it is, I'm doing this for fun in the beginning, and if they want to
That's a
pay me
bonus.
a few pounds, it's fine. I'll buy the odd tool in a year,
Yeah, right. That's kind of what,
Mm-hmm.
or a can of finish or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah,
Maybe save it up for a nice piece of wood or something like that.
right.
We'll see. Well,
Paul and I were
just-
talking about that a little bit before you came in, Brian.
Mm.
If something you want to go out for sale that you want to make sure it's nice, sometimes buying a piece of wood is the best way to go. I haven't bought any wood in quite a while.
Yeah, neither have I. Personally, I've got a good supply of wood now.
Yeah.
I've probably got enough wood in my little wood stores to last me 2 or 3 years, probably.
That'll do that.
Sure.
Just wanted to clean that brush out with a wee taste of water while I cooled there.
sure. Best time to do
Give
it is
that a
right
chance
away.
to dry. Right. So
What's the plan now, Paul?
I'm just going to relieve some timber from the bottom here to create the natural look of the timber, and same with a wee bit on the top.
Oh,
And
okay.
then I'll give that a nice coat of clear lacquer.
Thought you were going to say spray
Maybe
it
sand
black.
sealer.
Sanding seal it first, then.
Yeah. So we'll just cut this back and make a wee bit of sanding to do with it. So we'll give it a chance to dry a wee bit.
Gary says he was just doing a quick finger count there to make sure Paul didn't lose a finger when I was away. He was picturing, and then suddenly there's all this crimson there.
Yep.
Look, excuse me, my hands.
Yeah. Gary said it's how he treats markets. He turns for fun, and if someone is generous
Mhm.
enough to appreciate what he does and buys something
Yep.
at the market, then the money goes back into the wood turning supplies. You're exactly right.
Mhm.
Sometimes my wife will say, "Why do you bother? I'll get my little check from these 2 stores I'm in and get a little piddly check," and she'll look at me and, "Well, is it really worth it?" Well, at least it clears some of the stuff out from the house.
Mhm. And it's
Uh,
fun making it.
Absolutely.
That's right.
That's the important bit for me. I mean, I'm not in it to make money by any
Right.
means.
Right.
Although
If
I have sold a few quite expensive pieces, so I've made a bit
yeah,
of money out of it. Yeah.
if I can make the shop pay for itself, that's all I'm after.
Hmm.
Little extra on top of that, I'm super happy. That's bonus.
Exactly.
But I've got to bring stuff home from one of my shops so I can put Christmas trees in it. I've got my shelves packed full. People have been buying stuff here recently, and they're still full.
Good.
So bring some
Give
stuff
it.
home, put a shelf of trees out. I tell you what, Paul, that's looking really good right now.
We'll just sand the bottom of this here. Then I'm going to give it a coat of sand sealer, and I'll turn it around while it's drying. I'll not put any lacquer on it yet.
No, you need to let the sanding sealer be well dried before you try and put sanding sealer or lacquer on. And make sure you have a really good coat of, maybe even 2 coats of sanding sealer.
Just turn on the air compressor on now. That's not bad. That's okay.
If you don't seal your wood properly, guys, and you start to use lacquer, and you get a dull spot in your lacquer, lacquer won't fix it.
Yeah, I'll just suck it in.
It'll just keep disappearing. So if you do get that, sand the first coat of lacquer off and reseal it, because you won't ever seal it with lacquer.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis,
Probably.
and I learned that by experience by watching Lewis one time. He did a project, and he didn't quite sandy seal it enough, and he had some. He kept applying lacquer, and he was up to something like 30 coats of lacquer, and it still wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
So bite the bullet. If you haven't sand and sealed it right, and you get a dull spot, sand it back and reseal it.
Just blowing this dust out of this before I put the sand sealer on.
Sometimes think, excuse me. I sometimes think that little sawdust effect or dust effect in the texturing is quite interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted to seal that in one of these days to see what it would look like.
So we'll just use some of the Chestnux cellulose sand and sealer. Just turn that on, turn the speed down, we'll give it a wee coat.
That's something that y'all have plenty of access to that we can't get hardly.
What's that?
Chestnut products.
All right.
We can get
You can see the way
some,
it's soaking
but
in
not the whole
there.
line.
It's just soaking on like a big sponge.
Oh, well,
Sure.
yeah.
Especially that textured area. It's amazing how that opens up those pores and that finish will just go right in.
That's just soaking straight in.
Yep. I asked Terry one time about, what would it take to become a chestnut rep over here, and it was not going to be an easy deal. So
No.
I just kind of let it drop.
I think that'll
Yeah, it
we'll
would
get
be an
that in our
expensive
coat
outlay to
later.
become us, I think, wouldn't it?
There's a big
Well,
spot there. Look very good.
apparently he has a couple of warehouses over here.
All right.
Supplies
Okay.
both the U.S. and Canada, but it's limited product.
Right.
Right. I'll let that
So
dry.
it still wouldn't do much good.
And we'll turn that round. Just set these paints out of the way before I knock them over. Because I'm very good at knocking things over.
Yeah. Join the club.
Chucky, where's my Chucky?
I have a stain in the floor as well. My floor currently is bare concrete, so every time you spill something, like especially colour, it just kind of soaks in. So
Yeah. See, that's why you need to leave shavings on your floor.
no. That's just an excuse for being lazy, Doug. That's for that.
No, it's called doing production work.
No, it's not. It's an excuse for being lazy.
Told Paul I roughed out 20 Christmas trees the other day, and I had just cleaned my floor when I decided let's go ahead and rough these out. So what do I have? Another pile.
Yep.
So yeah, I've got to sweep up before I can make the next mess.
And there's not much point in tidying too much. You're going to do a whole
Sweep
lot
up
more.
after every turn and sometimes halfway through a turn.
Well, so do I. I can't deny that.
Shavings on the floor annoy the living daylights out of me.
I think
I
I
don't
just
even like walking on them.
I think it just makes the pleasure of wood turning a wee bit more enjoyable. Because you don't think about the mess you've laying on the
I
floor.
don't think about it at all.
No, I don't think about it. I just clean it.
Yeah.
I don't really think about it. It's no big deal.
Yeah. My grandfather used to keep 3 or 4 inches of shavings and sawdust on the floor because he had a concrete floor and
Just give it a wee spin.
it was cushion. When I remember my dad asking him when I was a child, asked my grandfather why he kept so much shavings and sawdust on the floor. He said, "Well, if I didn't, I'd be in the hospital with my back. It would hurt so bad." But that cushion of the shavings kept his back from hurting.
Mm.
That is going to look nice when it's got your lacquer on it. It's going to look great. Looks good now.
Does. I have to agree.
Change over to the bowl gouge just.
Roger Kent says he's always keeps cleaning the shavings.
Yeah. Well, I admire you guys who do it. I tell you, I really do. I'm not that fussy in my shop. I'm not that fussy. Period.
I may be guilty of being a bit too fussy, but yeah, that's what it is. I don't really mind other people's workshops being messy. It doesn't bother me. I'm not in it.
There you go. There you go. Brian, did you ever find that handful of shavings that that Mark hid in your shop?
He never did hide any shames in my shop.
Oh, he says he did.
You know, he did. Oh no, he didn't.
You've been through it pretty well, huh?
Oh yeah. There's no hiding place in my workshop. Everywhere is tidy.
Todd didn't want to park in the sawdust. I understand.
I'm currently making plans to expand my workshop.
Yeah, I heard you say that the other day. It sounds good. I'd love to expand mine. In fact, I've kind of dreamed about a way to do it.
Ooh.
Don't know if it'll ever get done, but well, in fact, I can't connect it directly. I have to, if I do anything, I've got to do a totally separate shop.
Right. Okay.
If I go out the back door here of the shop, I'll end
Just
up on
step out
top of the.
and check the depth.
Always a good plan.
Yep.
As I seem to recall nearly going through the bottom the other day.
There's still quite
Yeah.
a bit of timber.
So you're saying you're going out the back door of your shop, Doug?
Yeah, if I go straight out the back door, I end up on top of the septic tank, and you can't do that.
All right. No.
One, the weight, you could collapse it, but then also if it needs to be serviced, you can't get to it. So
Yeah.
I guess I could put a hatch over it, but
Put a
why do
manhole over
that?
it and something. Yeah.
Why
I
not?
have a big heavy steel manhole covered over top my septic tank, but I wouldn't want it inside the building though.
No, you're right. You're right.
It could smell a bit.
It could, very possible.
Particularly when it's freshly emptied.
Yeah, yeah. We moved into this house and found out just a few years ago it had not been serviced since it was built.
Wow.
So had the people come. First had to have a guy come out and locate it. There was no.
It's getting close now, Paul.
Yeah, it's very close. I think I'll tidy that up with a
that's what I was thinking.
I'm just going to look at this and give it an arc coat of sand sealer while I'm going to be still working on that.
Good idea.
Because I think it'll soak in.
Anyway, we had to have a guy come out and locate it because they had not put a surface clean out.
Okay.
Found it finally, and then they came the next week and serviced it, emptied it all out. It didn't take him long, but he said it was absolutely full.
Well, it would have been, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been bad if we'd waited even a week or two longer. Didn't fix the issue that we were having them work on it for to begin with, but at least we knew that was not the problem.
Yeah. And you got your tanks out.
I'm just going to use the big scraper to tidy up the bottom of this and clean that up.
Yeah, my tank's good for another 10 years now.
Okay. We get ours emptied every year.
Really?
Yeah, on our rates bill, we pay for water as well, and sewage, and because we're not connected to the main sewage, we get our tank emptied free once a year.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
If you wanted it emptied any more than that, you have to pay, I think it's about 40 quid or something.
Yeah.
For the guy to come with the big vacuum tank and suck it out.
Right. We call those guys honey dippers.
Yeah.
Chris, we could have been. We could have been. He said you really would have been in it.
You could have been up to your neck.
Could have been. It was interesting. We had a kitchen drain, which is on the main floor up above the basement.
Mhm.
Basement is a walkout, so it's not underground. In
Right.
the back, it is in the front, but not in the back. Anyway, our kitchen sink was not draining,
Hmm.
and I had run a 50-foot snake into it and never found a clog. Had a guy or saw a guy who was advertising on Facebook locally and called him. He said, "Sure, that's exactly what my price is." And he came out and he ran a 100-foot snake and didn't find it. So he came back with a camera, ran it, and found that there was there was a double split just into the wall,
Hmm.
and his snake was going down one side of that split. And he says, "I bet you anything that clog is on the other side." So we worked and worked and worked. He had to come out here 4 or 5 times, and the last time he went out, he brought a I think he brought a 150 or 200-foot snake, and he finally hit it, whatever it was, and broke it open, whatever, and
Hmm.
it was crazy. It was crazy. Truck business.
Roy the voice joined us. Good afternoon, Roy.
Hey, Roy.
Hi, Roy.
Todd says the pump truck business had a company motto: "We're number one in number two."
That's a good one.
Yes,
That's a
it
good one.
is. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
I got to do that and get that sanded.
Looks nice. Yep.
Did see one of those trucks one time that says "We stink." That was all it said across the back of the truck. "We stink." I told my wife, I said,
Right.
at least they know their place.
Yeah.
Roy's been doing Christmas trees and snowmen.
Ah, good for you, Roy.
You walk away,
Talking,
Roy.
we were talking about Christmas trees a while ago. I've got a floor full of shavings from roughing them, and that was just about 10% of what I'm going to do altogether.
Not me. Unless somebody specifically asked for a snowman, they're not getting it. I don't do them.
Todd says that's the smell of money. You're exactly right. For those guys, it is. I've lived in 2 towns that both had pulp mills where they make the pulp to make paper with,
Hmm.
and that stuff has a pretty pungent smell. Bob's Box.
It's good that.
um, but yeah, both places that's the smell of money. I guess if you got
Yeah.
family that works in those places, it's a good job to have, but they do smell.
Well, it's a business that's never going to get any less for sure.
Yeah, people are going to need paper forever.
It's a bit like dying.
Yep, yep. People are dying to get in. Roy's got a Christmas
Oh,
fair in November. It sounds
so
good.
just going through the grits here, guys. 180
Yep.
here.
2 stores I'm in are both having Christmas open houses in November. So plan is to have at least 40 trees in each of those stores before they have that open house.
Oh, it's half
And
a
I'm
day's
doing
work.
a
Half a
I'm
day's
doing a
work.
show, half a day's work. I wish. My back won't take it that long.
No,
Mike
Roy's been
Evans is in. Hello, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
He's setting up his new MacBook Air. Oh,
Good
posh.
for you.
Roy the boss just says, no more than half a day's work for that, Doug.
It is for me. It is for
Well,
me.
if you want to make some there, Roy, and send them over to Doug, he'll be quite happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm afraid the postage on it would be more than what the
Roy will
trees are worth.
But Roy will pay the postage. You never
Oh,
worry.
okay.
400. I'll
Roy's loaded his
bring
thing.
that in.
Roy buy the postage at the bar
Yeah,
for
exactly.
£5. Oh,
Yeah,
if it were only
£5
that
anywhere.
easy.
Yeah, £5 anywhere in the world. Yeah. Indeed.
Yes. Roy was
Not cheap.
agreeing with me. It was more than half a day work. Yes, it is. And I've got the process down pretty quick, but it's I can only take about 2 hours of standing at the lathe at a time. Then I have to go sit on the couch for a while. I could send you some? I don't think so, Roy.
Yeah, flat piece, flat.
I
Oh.
think that's not happening.
No. The one store I've got that's furthest away from here, she wants the most, and it's crazy. She sold 47. She says 47. I think it was a little more or less than that. She sent me back one out of all of them I sent her last year. So, although she sold everything I sent her but one, so she wants 40 before they have their open house, which is the first weekend of November. Is that right? No, second weekend. First weekend is the one here, and she wants at least 40. So,
Don't want much then.
what do I make them from? Roy, I make those trees out of anything that has fallen out of the tree.
Yep.
I don't cut anything or don't buy anything. I've got a poplar and a maple in my yard that are both bad about dropping limbs every time it rains or the wind blows. My neighbor's got a poplar 30 feet away from my big maple that it does the same thing. So I'm constantly collecting broken branches that fallen out of these three trees. Try to get them out of the rain, at least under the eaves of the house, and then I can cut them up. I kind of cut them arbitrarily on a chop saw. As far as length goes, I don't measure anything. And then when I have the opportunity, like I did the other day, I'll take them and put them between centers, put a taper on one end and a tenon on the other, and I just pile them up here under the lathe until I get the chance to come back then and turn the tree. So
Way to go.
no, Gary, I'm not doing trees on lives. I've done one. I did a tree the other day when I did little mini end grain bowls. I turned 2 or 3 of those and then turned a tree and then another little bowl. But I'll turn trees today. I'll turn 15 or 20 trees today. All these that I have roughed out, I'll turn them today probably.
Yeah, a couple of wee cracks in
Is
that where the end grain is.
Is that the cracks you were noticing earlier?
Yeah,
On the
yeah. You
yeah,
can see them
okay.
more there. Let's see. I'm not going to worry too much about them at this stage. I'll place the sun sealer on this, and
How big are the cracks, Paul? Just little tiny ones?
they're just wee hairline cracks.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the dust was showing them up. Now the sun
Right.
sealer's on, I can't see them.
It's actually quite hard to deal with the tiny little cracks like that.
It is. I was going to say sometimes, and you can't count on it, but sometimes putting some sanding sealer and finish on them will take care of them. But you never know. Gary's got a question for you, Paul. He says, are you using the same compressor for your air hose as you do for your paint gun?
No, no. I have this wee fellow.
Yeah,
All right.
for the airbrush. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the airbrush.
Where Brian has a splitter and another
I do.
pressure gauge.
That's correct.
That's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna run a air hose over here with another pressure gauge on it or pressure valve and have it just for the airbrush. Get rid of this little makeup thing that I use.
That's fine for the
Right.
workshop, but Paul needs that little airbrush thing to take with him to demos and stuff.
Well, sure, yeah, yeah.
I might have to invest in one of those myself. Quite
They're
like
not
the one
that
that Emma.
dear.
No,
I
they're
picked
not.
that one up on eBay. It was the girl I bought it off. She bought it for her daughter. A wee airbrush set, and it came with two brushes and those wee jars you see me using, the wee suction cups.
Mhm.
8 of those, and I got them for £90.
Oh
that's a
my
good deal.
word.
Yeah.
So
That sounds like a
I got a bargain.
Roy deal. Yeah, yeah.
I think the wee
Roy.
suction cups are about £4 or £5 each, maybe
Mhm.
more. Nah.
You can buy them. You can buy cheap Chinese versions of them for relatively.
Yeah, that's not a dear wee compressor. It's just a wee cheapie. You find them on eBay. You'll find them okay.
Sure.
Just they do the job.
Mm-hmm. Do
I don't
indeed.
think a professional airbrusher would use one of those. You know.
But for what we do with them, and just applying colours.
Yep, they're fine.
It's not like you're trying to do any fancy decoration or anything.
And the cheap airbrushes as well. There's no point in
Yep.
spending over £100 for an airbrush.
Would have to
Cheap
agree.
ones
Oh
are
my
okay.
goodness. Yeah, Gary says he has neither, but would like to get one that can do both. And Gary, you can, but you'll need to do a setup like Brian has done, like I'm going to do. Run a separate line. You know, you put a two-way splitter on your right next to your compressor,
Yep.
and run one with another pressure valve so that you can bring it down to 15, 20, 25 pounds, whatever your airbrushes call for. Professor Rob just popped in. Hello, Rob.
Yeah, Rob.
Hi, Rob. Welcome along.
Yeah, a while back I bought the primary supplies I need. I've got the splitter and whatnot, but I think I want to run hard line. I was going to run soft line over here, but I think I'm going to do hard line. Get it over here behind the lathe, and then I can come off of it with my
Just a wee taste of wax.
regulator and all that.
Yeah, I just took mine under the benches.
Yeah.
And brought it back up again.
Right. I'm coming around concrete walls, so I'll have to go overhead, I'm sure. Not a big deal.
But when I do my workshop again, I'll be hardwiring in the air compressor. I'll actually be buying a bigger air compressor for the new workshop.
Gary, you can probably, for what you will need it for, unless you're going to run a lot of mechanics air tools, you'll probably be able to get away with one of the little pancake compressors, and get one that's much quieter than one of the big compressors. Yeah, I've got I don't know what mine is now. Oh, there it is. It's a 21 gallon compressor. But it's, I could do with a 3 gallon pancake compressor that's silent. That would be probably much nicer for what I need it for.
Where's that drill?
I have
Just
20
noticed a few
watt
wee
notes.
furry bits. It's came off the brush.
Oh, that'll clear it right off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have one of the standard sort of, it's a Hyundai silent 25-litre tank
Oh,
That's
okay.
better looking.
compressor, which has two
That's
outlets
just
on
a
it.
wee
to
nylon
begin with.
brush, guys. I bought those in a local hardware store.
Hmm.
There's 3 different sizes to them. Just where's the R2?
Is there
Okay.
abrasive on that, Paul?
Is there a what?
Is there abrasive on that?
No, it's just clean.
Okay. All right.
I wanted to show you the 2R one. So they come as a set. It looks like a toilet brush thing, but it's
Mm-hmm.
for your thing. And then you got that one.
Yep.
And then that wee one. Now
Mm,
they were
quite
tenner,
good.
£10.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't too bad.
Nope.
Do the job. If you have any wee striggly bits, you run that over and I'll get it off. But
Um,
I'm going to give that a 1 coat now of clear lacquer, and I'll turn it round and take the
Okay.
food off. So
Gary, if you want to have a look at how I've got mine set up, buddy, you're welcome to come anytime.
Little bit of shine is bringing out those colors very nicely.
this will probably need about 4 or 5 coats
Mm-hmm.
to bring the colour out on it. So when that's set coated, we'll take it off the chuck and we'll turn it around and take the feet off. Set it down there nicely. We'll get the chuck out.
That reminds. I saw a video yesterday while I was ailing, but I saw this video and all I could say was, if Paul could see that, the guy left a. He was sitting there talking to the camera for a long time and had his chuck key in the chuck.
Oh,
Yeah, the whole time.
well, I wasn't there. My pet
Yeah,
peeve.
it wasn't one of the normal folks that I
Mm,
watch. I couldn't even tell you who it was.
it's just my
I
pet
thought,
peeve.
Hal, that's not very smart.
So dangerous.
Yeah, but he put his key in, loosened the chuck, took the piece off the chuck, and then was sitting there holding it, showing it, and talking about it, and left the key sticking straight up.
Just going to bring the tailstock up to center of that before tightening the coal jaws up. I've got my center point located from earlier, so it's always good
Mhm.
practice to do that. And then it's running true. Well, it should run true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Take that away.
That's fine, Gary. Anytime at all, mate.
And we're just to remove that wee bit of the foot. Wee bit high. Okay. Just watch your speed when you're using your coal jaws.
Usually the speed, maximum speed is written on them.
Yeah.
I think
Some
for
are
the
in
smaller ones,
500 and some are in
yeah.
600.
I think the smaller ones are around about 800 and the bigger ones are around 600, I think. But it'll be written on it. So obey the manufacturer's guidelines, guys.
Well, there
It's
they
there for
are.
a reason.
I was looking for mine to see what they say on them. Yeah, I've got some of the mini coal jaws. They're 800.
Yep.
That's what it says on them. But yeah, just look on your jaws, guys, if you use them.
Mhm.
You can probably get away with faster for a while, but then there's that time that you don't, and that's would be a tragedy.
Do 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 do.
The guidelines are there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the day you don't follow them is the day that something happens.
Yeah. I've thought a time or two of making a set a bit larger than what I've got, and every time I do, I think most of the stuff that I would use,
Just
like
take it, it's
plywood.
undercut so that it sits nice and flat on the table.
Hmm. A little concave in the bottom. Concavity. Is that a word?
Yep, good word. Plywood has a tendency to, at some point, start to fail on you.
It does, yeah.
MDF, if it gets a little moisture in it, it's
That is
gone.
useless.
Solid wood, again,
Warps.
typically would be better, but you still don't. There's no guarantee. It could fail.
Yep, it could warp as well. So
It can warp. Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna, for myself, I'm gonna stick with commercially made ones. Guess you
No.
could do some out of a thick, like a plexiglass or something of that nature.
Wouldn't risk that either. They're not that expensive at the end of the
No,
day.
they're not too bad. My little mini ones, I got them in a set of mini jaws. I think the whole set was only it was about $120 for no, it wasn't either. It was 80 something dollars. Um, and there were 4 sets of jaws, including this mini cold jaws. So it wasn't
Just
bad.
a sand sealer.
Now I see it. I was wondering where those settings were that Paul was talking, or Alex was talking about. I found them.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah, up in the chat, the your little 3 little line menu thing.
Yep.
It's in there,
Oh, is it?
and then it's a matter of clicking off, or yeah, follow his second set of instructions there, and clicking off the whatever those are called, that whole line of stuff that's there.
Yeah, I think they're. I don't know what they call them. Instant something. I think you call them.
I'm just going to get a wee bit of wood to set this on and put our coat of sand sealer on it. Or lacquer, sorry.
There it is.
And I just turn that over.
Professor saying plexiglass reminds him of Star Trek: The Voyage Home when they were looking for transparent aluminum. It's amazing if you go back and watch the old Star Trek show, how much of that stuff that was science fiction has come to fruition today. But that's exactly where our cell phone technology has come from, with Star Trek.
So that'll need to be well to dry, guys, but
There, well,
turn turn it over.
Looks very nice,
bring that-
Paul. I have to say, real rich colour on that. I like
It
it.
really is.
I'll put a couple of photographs on it. It's nice and dry, and it's had a couple of coats of sand sealer on it to bring that colour up, because it seems to be just soaking in again, you know.
Aye.
And I did really soak that with the sand sealer, but I think that's down to the cypress.
Yeah.
It just like a big sponge, you know.
It's a real open grain timber anyway. So.
Yep.
So
And if it's
there
been really dry, it will soak up a lot.
I'll bring you guys in before we say
Oh, there we
cheerio.
go.
There we are, guys. Thanks very much for coming over this afternoon, and everyone. And
Nice
watching.
turn. Well done, mate.
Nice wee,
Absolutely.
simple. I would say simple bowl. There's nothing too fancy about it. It's the first time I've used the airbrush or the colours to do anything. I usually just put the colour on with a spray can and see what happens. But I think I'll try more of that.
Yeah, airbrush is quite good.
Bring me in. I'm
I enjoy using the airbrush as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
It's
those
great
wee
for applying those dyes.
those wee suction cups are brilliant because you
Yep.
can leave the colours in them. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So again, guys, thanks very much for taking the time out of your Monday afternoon to come and watch me. I really appreciate it. We'll probably see you again next Monday, at the same time, and we'll probably see you through the week on the chat.
With a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
We'll
Yes.
get the guys to say cheerio before I turn the button off.
Okay, guys, cheerio. Talk to you all later in the
Cheerio.
week. I'll
Had
be
my
on
Cheerios
the-
earlier, but
Are you
All
on?
the best, guys.
You're on